Here's why I decided to stop smoking weed, pot, Mary Jane, marijuana. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why I decided. Coach Santos here, founder of the Soldiers of Self-Mastery Movement since 2016. I'm not sure if you're a part of this community. If you're not, I'm going to invite you to come and visit. Park your car, park your trailer here as much as possible within this community here and see what you get out of it. If you're struggling, you might be down and out. You might be severely depressed and you're smoking like a chimney that has a lot of wood in the fireplace. We're talking about marijuana here. And I did smoke my very first joint when I was about 11 years of age, somewhere around there, 11, 12. This young lady introduced me to my first marijuana joint. Here's the reason why I quit. And I have to say that I did have a support. We'd like to take all the credit for ourselves. You know, I'm a strong person. I can honor my decision. I can go here, I can go. By the grace of God, Jesus Christ, I was able to go cold turkey a couple times before I quit. Finally, number one, it was getting a little bit costly. Number two, it started taking over my appetite. I'm not sure exactly what it was doing to me, but it got to the point where it really did. It was getting to the point where I didn't feel that I could eat regular food unless I had smoked. Food was also tasting very, very, it was almost giving me a numbing effect upon food. There was times where I wanted to eat food, but I hadn't smoked, especially in the mornings, and I would gag. I would have dry heaves. And I would only eat a small portion of food because it had taken over my appetite. Weed had taken over my appetite. The other thing that I started feeling was I started feeling uneasy about it. I'm trying to read the Bible. I'm trying to, not a church person. I do belong to a fellowship these days, but we don't have a pastor. We don't have any evangelists. We're not a big group. Our 100% trust is in the scriptures and in God, Jesus Christ. I hope he has saved me. It feels that way. It was messing with my daily routine. I wasn't getting the things that I needed to do in an orderly fashion. It was interrupting my schedule, my life. Now, I had overcome problem gambling. I did overcome problem gambling 32 years. Weed was a little different. I could dabble in it a little bit. Then eventually it became where I was actually smoking just about every day, throughout the day. And I was becoming frightened that I was thinking to myself that already these thoughts were coming to my mind that I was going to have a hard time kicking this habit. It's funny, gambling does the same thing. Any addiction, for that matter, will do the same thing in your life. It will become bigger than you. It will become bigger than the power of honoring your word or honoring a decision. You hear a lot of people making decisions, but they're not honoring that decision. The addiction has become bigger than then. I don't like to hide from people, and I really don't like to go places smelling like weed. But it was becoming a burden, a burden that I was carrying until it got too heavy, and I said, you know what, enough is enough. My throat, I was coughing. I had this real bad cough. And I also believe that it was affecting my my energy. It was becoming hard for me to have a good, can you say that, walking or doing things that took energy were becoming more of a burden for me. It was like I was losing breath, you know. I'll get back to finishing this video with part 2. Stay with me.